What's up, CFM? It's Coach Matt with our Monday workout. We're going to do our pressing volume work today. We're going to do it in 2 big blocks. So let's begin with the warm-up. Go 3 rounds through, your choice of 12 calories on road bike or ski. Then we're going to do some of our standing rotary reaches. So stand in a balanced stance with your feet parallel, hips, feet about shoulder width apart. And then we're going to start with our hands like clapped together and pointed towards the front. And I'm going to pull like I'm drawing a bow back, elbow high, extending one arm to the front and reaching all the way around to the back, and then switching to the other side. And we're just returning to that same front facing position 8 times in a row. Make sure you feel a good stretch in the pec as you stretch that arm out behind you so that when you finish, your hands are 180 degrees apart, right? All right, next one is our step back swivel. So there's a little bit of a balance exercise. I'm stepping backwards and across my center line so that when I rotate, I'm in a nice balanced lunge stance if I was facing backwards, and then I'm going to continue rotating until I'm back to the front of the room, right? And then rotate back, right back to where I started. We're going to get 5 reps in each direction. So step back, swivel, rotate to the front, and then back to your standing position. If possible, try to do that with only 1 foot contact and in 1 smooth motion all the way down and around, and then 1 smooth motion all the way back to your starting position. So it's a little dynamic balance exercise there. Last one is 5 reps of an inchworm with a slow eccentric push-up. So try, if you can, to plant your hands flat on the ground, so no tented fingers like this, but hands planted flat. Walk all the way out until you're in a good plank position, and then a slow eccentric. You don't have to count it out, but make it slow, and then push back up and walk yourself back to your standing position. So you should feel a good hamstring stretch as well as some activity on the chest and shoulders and the core. All right, so next we're going to get into our 2 different strength training blocks. The first one will be a strength superset. So there's 3 exercises done like a circuit for 5 rounds. Approximately every 3 minutes, try to start a new round. So I've got my bench set up, I did my warm-ups, I got my dumbbells all out, so I don't have to go setting up extra equipment every time I get through a round. But we're gonna do 3, 2, 1, go. The 15-minute clock is gonna start. Control down to the chest, contact and pause, and then push up fast, okay? Control down to the chest, contact, pause, and push up fast. We're using about 65% of our 1 rep max, set of 5, okay? Next, we're gonna do alternating arm bent over row. So I've got 2 dumbbells, and I'm gonna get into my bent over row position, and I'm rowing with one, touch the chest, rowing with the other, touch the chest. The only thing on this one is try not to have your arms moving at the same time, because that really leads to the shoulders swiveling. So try to do 1 full rep and stop, another full rep and stop, and I'm doing a total of 10 or 5 per arm. And then we're gonna finish with a 30-second front plank. So just sit in that nice front plank position, either the hands or the elbows. It does not matter which one you do, okay? Get 5 rounds through that. It'll take 15 minutes. If you get done earlier, then you can go into the next segment if you would like to, but I'll have like a brief intermission and then another 20-minute clock to start the next one. So the second component is not really an AMRAP format because there's a lot of detail in the movements, but it is the conditioning for today. So I want you to maintain a relatively consistent pace, try to move yourself relatively briskly through it, but not at a pace that causes you to degrade the quality of the movement, or sometimes, like when we're going for max reps or max duration, I want you to rest a little bit so that you're not super tired and you immediately fall off the bar on the flexed arm hang. Give yourself just a minute to recover so that you can put a good like 15-20 second effort into that. All right, so we'll begin with a double dumbbell pullover. We got our bench from our bench press. Now I've got 2 dumbbells instead of 1 dumbbell for our pullover, and I'm gonna get into my dumbbell pullover position so my body's perpendicular to the bench. The back of my head is resting on the edge of the bench, and I'm trying to keep about a foot in between the dumbbells, reaching all the way up over my head and then pulling back into this vertical position. And again, the dumbbells don't need to touch the ground, but the arms should stay totally straight as I do this. And there should be a gap between the dumbbells while I'm doing the double dumbbell pullover, okay? Next, we're gonna do 3 position push-ups to failure. So this is 3 sets to failure every time, but we're gonna start in a wide grip push-up, so hands really wide, And I'm just going down, up, down, up, down, up as many times as I can get with good technique, right? And when I feel like I'm gonna bend my knees or bend my core, that's when I would stop. Next one is gonna be diamond push-ups, right? So hands really narrow. And all of these can be done on an adjustable pull-up bar as well, or a higher object. And then the last one is just our standard grip push-ups. So 3 sets, about to failure, maybe 1 or 2 reps shy of failure, or when you feel like your technique's starting to degrade. If you could attempt to get between 5 and 8 reps of each of those before you stop or switch, that would be great. And you can rest a little bit in between each little set to failure. Next one is a flexed arm hang. So this is halfway up the pull-up, right? I have an adjustable pull-up bar here. This is a really good assistance method of doing it. It can be overhand, can be underhand, doesn't really matter, but I want you to pull up from the bottom, hold at 90 degrees until you cannot hold any longer, right? Until your arms extend down from the bar, okay? And that is our flexed arm hang. And then the next one is double dumbbell push press. You can use the same dumbbells you did your dumbbell pullovers with. Dip drive press, lock out straight up overhead. And then the last one is band rows to failure. So get a heavy, thick band for this. That's gonna limit you to, somewhere in the 20, 25 rep range, but get a lot of tension on that band to start off with, set back in that athletic position, and then pull and touch your chest every single rep, okay? And you go until, if I can't touch my chest anymore, we call that failure, and that's the end of your set. So hit that. We would like to get 3 to 4 rounds through that big circuit for the second component in 20 minutes. And that is our conditioning and our volume for pressing and pulling work for the day. That's it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.